Hello, welcome back. Today I'm coming to you with my manky, most comfortable sweater, my favorite mug, all of which are Friends themed, to talk about my TBR bookcase and consumerism in general while being a reader. So here in our household, we do a lot of things we can to kind of cut down on consumerism or be a little bit mindful about waste, kind of the umbrella term of waste or wasteful consumerism. We use reusable straws, reusable chopsticks, don't own any plastic bags, like Ziploc bags or anything like that. Where I fall short on my goals of consumerism and waste and anything under that umbrella term certainly would be my book buying habits. And I'm sure my partner has something as well. I've seen a lot of really interesting dialogue surrounding the difference in being a reader versus a book collector. And I do think there is certainly some truth to that. I separate my book buying from my reading. There are certainly some books I purchase just to add to a collection. There are editions I purchase even though I may have that book. In saying that, when I do such a thing, I will usually donate one edition that I have and keep the one that I'm more excited about. But sometimes you find yourself collecting if you really, really adore a story, or if you adore a series and it hit you at a great time, you know, whatever that attachment might look like, you will find yourself collecting those works. I certainly went through a phase, usually it was right when I came out of university, where I was buying kind of indiscriminately books that I liked. So if I liked a book and it was impactful to me, I would tend to buy that book every time I saw it and kind of force it upon people. I hope that makes sense, because what I'd like to talk about today is, this is my TBR shelf. It goes one higher. Up here, which is my nonfiction works. 1, 2, 3 is my general adult fiction. I have my teen shelf here, and at the very bottom I have my middle grade shelf, but all that's on it right now is Keepers of Velocity, the rest of Series of Unfortunate Events, and Wildwood. So that one's not too bad. And middle grade I tend to go through pretty quickly. What I'd like to focus on, as well as, do you know what, I'm gonna lump nonfiction in there. I tend to never regret buying nonfiction. I like learning about things that might not be my comfortable perspective, so that is also going to be an exclusion shelf. What I'd like to talk about today is focusing on these 4 here and what I intend to do about it in the year of 2021. So for the year of 2020, I read 159 books. I moved to the western side of Canada 3 years ago now, 2 or 3 years ago, and only brought with me 5 books. So everything you see on these 2 shelves and that are in my room, I've read over the last 2 years. And I'm very proud of it. I'm happy that my collection has grown. I left a lot when I moved at a very young age out here. Not a super young age, but young enough that I've grown since being here and I'm different. I think it was a necessary transition in my life. But reflecting on everything I've read, I've made a lot of changes in 2020 that I'd like to talk about. I'd like to talk about normalizing, reducing your books to save on shelf space. So this year, previously before moving to Western Canada, I used to keep everything I read. I have gotten more used to this year donating or giving away things that I have found my joy in, probably wouldn't reread or recommend to a friend, but I know somebody else would enjoy. I will go ahead and donate that to the library or to a local school, something like that. And getting rid of books that I really didn't enjoy or might be embarrassed to have on my shelf, like if it's inflammatory or bigoted or racist, or I find it that way through my perspective, then I don't want it on my shelf, and I will just give it to the used bookstore or throw it away, maybe give it to a friend. You know, if somebody else wants it, that's their business, but creating a sort of bookshelf and personal library that reflects who I am, what I enjoy, and what I believe. I want somebody to be able to come into my house look at my bookshelves and say, these definitely belong to Daniela. They are full of representation, whether it be race, LGBTQIA, or anything of the sort. I wanted to reflect what I believe in and what I enjoy and what I want to put out there in the world. So when people are borrowing from my shelf, they feel comfortable and happy knowing what they're borrowing will align with what I believe or the kind of stories that I want to further push into my social circles or into the world. The year of 2020 was a lot of series wrap-ups as well. A lot of the series I had been reading were finishing up. It was a lot of finals and I enjoyed it. It was a lot of my discovering fantasy, so really delving first into that. It was a lot of firsts and a lot of finals. But now as we go into 2021 and I look at the books that are coming out, it's a lot of singles that I'm interested in. It's a lot of things that I don't have to read right away or I'm not feeling inclination to read right away. So what I want to focus more on this year is reading and picking up from my personal library. I am so proud of what I accomplished in 2020 with reading and learning and what I really did in terms of a reader and for myself, exploring new genres and enjoying new genres and finding new favorites. This year, I want to focus on these three right here. I want to whittle down the first 6 months of 2021, almost half of what we have here, and really explore and enjoy what I have at home before I start reaching for my card and seeking new books. I can 100% say with everything in me, I enjoyed 2020 in terms of reading, whether it be the reading aspect or the buying aspect. It was a really tough year for all of us, and it was a really tragic year for all of us. And wherever you could seek solace, whether it was in reading or in buying, I encourage it. I, however, have stabilized a little bit more, and I am looking more towards, now that I feel comfortable and a little more stable, looking at home and seeing what I can read there. That doesn't mean it's going to be a book buying ban for all of 2020. Or, oh God, flashbacks. That doesn't mean it's going to be a book buying ban for all of 2021. I'm still going to pick up books. I work at a bookstore. So realistically, if something catches my eye, I'm going to pick it up. But I was buying with intention in 2020. I was buying to finish series or start new genres, start new series within a genre. There was intention with what I was doing. However, now that that intention has wavered and shifted focus more to home, it's going to be a lot less than probably what you guys are used to. If you've noticed on my channel for the last 4 or 5 months, I haven't even talked about the books I've picked up, just because I think I have general book hauling fatigue. So just looking to shift that a little bit. Maybe during my reading vlogs, I will drop more in what I picked up throughout the week. But I think as a whole, the book buying or book hauling within this channel might be at an end right now, because it's just not the kind of content that I'm super excited about making. So I hope that makes sense. I can say what I'm looking forward to is there's a lot of singles on these shelves. With teen, I need to go through here because I think my reading tastes have changed. So there's a few that I'm just not as excited to read anymore and could probably go to a library where kids are doing a lot of online schooling right now. I'm trying to really focus and hone in on any kind of youth-oriented book that I don't want, giving them to the library so kids can better explore it and enjoy their time when they're having a really tough time right now. So I need to go through these, decide what I will and won't be keeping. I'm not opposed to doing a book unhauling. I did film one before and then I just didn't like how the video came out, so I just axed it, but I could do one again. But I'm really excited for my general works of fiction to delve more into the single works and not into series, just reading contemporary again. Hard-hitting contemporary being the main focal point of like A Little Life or Valentine. That has been on my TBR for a couple of months now, and I just haven't had time to get around to it. So I'm equally as excited to pick from my personal library as I am from my local bookstore. So in saying all of that, I hope that made sense. It's just a couple of changes that are going to be happening on this channel, but also I'm super excited about them. I'm really, really excited about them actually. So that's basically all there is for this video. Thank you so much for watching and listening to my just rambling. I didn't go into this video with much intent besides saying that I wouldn't be buying as much this year, essentially. I guess I got that point across. If I didn't, that's the video in a nutshell. I should have put that at the beginning so you guys didn't have to watch 10 plus minutes of me rambling, but that's the video in a nutshell. I'm just not gonna buy as much this year. I was fortunate to be working through this pandemic. I am fortunate to make a good amount from my work that I can afford to buy at my leisure, but I just want that chapter of my life to be done for now and to redirect my focus to more at home. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm interested to see your guys' perspective on it. Do you enjoy book hauls? They tend to be my most watched videos. At the same time, I know I like watching them because it gives me ideas of what I might enjoy reading. So I'm interested to see your guys' perspective. That's it for now. I hope you have a fantastic weekend or weekend, and I will see you in my next video. Please enjoy this really cute mug of the Friends cast. Goodbye. And please, I apologize for my Mankey sweater, but I wanted to be really comfortable while filming this.